in that Ascension bracket. We head into the draft for this game number 6. FPX over on the blue side, starting things off. Jwei getting a lot of bans targeted against him. I think for the last 4 games in a row or so, the Galio and the Rise have both been targeted.
Yeah, Neferi's left open again, Grapes. It was B1 last game. The Gwen has been taken B1 in our games, and the Neferi will take the place of the first pick this time around. So FPX get their hands on it. This instance, it's Shadow who's going to be piloting that one. You'd like to think an NIP will have known this, right? You take the Gwen ban instead of the Neferi ban. So what is your answer? What are you going to do?
Varus has been a very high prio pick across a bunch of different regions with the multiple builds that you can go. Vi also left open and will be selected here by Aki. So overall, some good engage tools by NIP to start things off, and I feel like we've seen this Vi actually do well into the Neferi, as well as being a champion that can start the team fights and also just, have that point and click CC. The dogs don't really do much against it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good answer to the Neferi, and you can use your Q as well. You hit as many dogs as you like, and you're going to find yourselves a decent advantage and find the lockdown as well. What I love though is this double round lock-in from FPX. They are killing the backline of NIP, and they do not care how they have to go about it. Already there are 2 great ultis to steal. For Care, he takes away the Vi ulti, he locks down whoever he decides, and then with the Ambessa following up on top, with Shadow following on top as well, it looks really good for FPX. But just like that, ppgod with a Renata lock-in, second Renata that I've seen today already, up against triple dive. Taking Renata is the go-to answer in support, and if you want to go through me, you're going to have to do it through killing yourselves first.
Yeah. By the way, you see that cool shuriken thing that guy had? He was spinning it. Anyway,
Yeah.
The Renata are really good at the top side here of FPX, as they show their cards really early, and that allows for Ninja's Pyjamas to respond. I think it was Chris actually playing the Renata against NIP earlier today that resulted in a lot of good opportunities for them. And now with the second phase of bans going through, FPX need themselves a self-sufficient bot laner for Assume, because he's not going to have as much peel from his top side as they're going to all be going forward. And NIP knows this. They take away the Ziggs and the Ezreal.
So I think the next logical one to go to is MF. Maybe Jin comes in after that. So we'll keep our eyes on what we see from Assume down on our bot side. NIP, though, they can get countered down on this bot lane as well. That support pick, right? Renata is not without her counters. If you find something that, like a Blitzcrank, for example, that can be all in all the time. Why have we just locked in Singed?
Okay, NIP might be taking the, hey, we've already locked ourselves a spot in Ascension. A little too close to home.
This is mid lane, right? This is screaming Doinby.
Is this Doinby? I mean, I was gonna go and check Shanji's match history and see if there's anything there, but we forget who's in the mid lane maybe sometimes. Yeah. It's the guy, it's Doinby.
And I mean, first is Silas. I can kind of see it, right? Like, if the Silas wants to steal your ulti, he just runs a little quicker, right? Like, cool.
It's like a really bad Alistar ulti.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's probably Shanji, I guess. I honestly, I'm not even going to bother guessing. I have no idea where either of these picks are going to go. Double flex. Pantheon gets locked in again. We've seen Doinby play this already today.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost for words. Singed has been locked in the LPL. And FPX, if they lose to a Singed, will have to live with that.
Now, according to Leakpedia, Singed has not been played by Shanji throughout his 6-year competitive career. So we will be looking at a first time here for NIP. We're getting word from our producer, Alk, that actually Singed is pretty good on this patch. I'm going to go take a look at what specifically is good about it right now. As into the Ambessa will mean that probably won't be 1v1ing the Ambessa super often unless he wants Sheer to have a good time. So expecting a lot of proxying, a lot of trying to just pick up waves and being as much of a nuisance as possible.
All right, cool. I'm here for it, right? If we've got new stuff in the meta, then absolutely bring it to the fourfold. And maybe we'll get to see some new tech that's going to sweep across the world, like we got to see with the tank Jace and Flandre. Maybe this is just the next iteration of that on the top side here for the Singed.
So taking a look, Singed did get buffed. Health, base attack speed has been increased, and also the poison trail got a bit of a hotfix / buff, where if there's any instance where a minion would kill the minion, it basically makes it easier for Singed to pick up CS via the Q, via the poison. So
we put the game
just,
on easy mode for singed players. Great.
It allows for Shanji to get more farm basically early on. The extra attack speed for the last hits. At cost of, it looks like some of the E damage going down, as well as some of the health growth going down. So we'll see if it ends up working here against the Mbessa. You know, something that is pretty powerful early on in the game. I feel like, though, the Neferi could definitely take advantage of it if it finds an early gank. But we'll see as we get onto the Rift for, again, our last scheduled matchup of the placement stage. However, the reason and the only way that this could be the last matchup is if FPX win. That would lock themselves third in the group. It would
we have the game! We're here!
Oh my gosh. Welcome back, everybody. Game number 6 on the way here. Apologize for the technical delay. We were theorizing.
I don't apologize, man. It's not my fault.
Yeah, you're right. That's the benefit of being the community-led broadcast. With the
True.
Yeah, so.
It's not my fault, guys. Like, it sucked for me, too.
FPX versus NIP. As remember, there's a singed in this game, as that's probably the biggest note that we had coming in. Again, singed got some changes where a little bit easier to last hit some of the things that happens here early on as you hit level 2 first. Overall, though, FPX need to win this game in order to avoid a tiebreaker against later on afterwards against OMG, the team that they lost to earlier on in the day. So. Gonna have to do it against maybe a bit of an unorthodox team composition. However, they could be off to the right foot right now as Shadows.
Grapes, I've seen this one before. I've seen this play before.
Yeah, going to be very far forward. The abduct lands onto him as well for a little bit of crowd control. Here comes Shadow. The Doinby will be able to flash away, flash the match, but the dogs still do so much damage, and Shadow will pick up first blood. This Neferi champion, just a little bit unbalanced, I think.
I mean, most junglers can walk mid level 3 when mid laner doesn't ward bot side and get away with it. But even still, we get to see the slightly different angle.
Whoa!
Oh my god, we were so wrong. We were so wrong.
So, if in case... Okay, we'll get back to this in a second. It's actually assumed is going in on a ppgod. One more auto attack is going to secure the kill. It's 2-0 FPX here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we might have to like dial in on those Singed a little bit later, but so far FPX are 2-0 to the good. Reminder again that they need to win this game to just completely avoid the tiebreaker at the back end of the day. And the last time these two teams faced up against one another, NIP struggled. It was a winning situation for FPX for the most part, but weren't quite able to convert on it. And now Doinby once again caught mid.
He doesn't have his flash. He's going to have to try to fight this one out onto Care. Potentially Shadow jumps over the wall, and this Neferi is going to be able to do a lot of damage right now in melee range. Here comes that Abscond Abduct, and the Feats of Warfare picked up 4 minutes for FunPlus Phoenix.
And I mean, Shanji might have not been, you know, particularly relevant for the start of this game, and that's, you know, Singed in a nutshell. But the rest of the squad are still fumbling by the wayside. Doinby 0-2, leaving ppgod have been getting solo killed down on that bot side. And yes, it's Kalista Nico, right? Like, it's a powerful duo, but you're Boros Renata as well. You should be able to, at the very least, hold your own, or at least stay safe and stay stable down there. So far, this is a very, very good opening for Assume, for Jwei. And very happy to see that FPX are potentially putting themselves at 2 and 4.
Yeah, they don't want that tie break. They don't want all that extra pressure. They know that right now Ninjas in Pyjamas is playing. They're playing a little bit greedy, maybe a little bit disrespectful with this Singe lock-in potentially here for Shanji, who, going back to that, 7 years, Rood. 7 years since he was last played in the LPL.
Yeah, I am incredibly surprised. Amazing J is a throwback that I was not expecting to have to reference on LPL today, but here we are, the last player to have played the Singed top specifically for the LPL. So, you know, very nice to see that there's a very long call out that's come to fruition, and we get to now find out whether or not NIP are going to be able to do anything with this Singed pick. It did go Flash TP, so a little bit disappointed that we've not got Ghost, but Flash Flip is a big combo that, especially versus Kalista as well, might have some pretty good impact.
There's that interaction that you were talking about here. Shanji has it level 6. You see how quickly he clears that wave out right now here as he goes for a reset himself. As things have stabilized a little bit overall for NIP after that first initial set of kills going through. But Shadow onto Fury going to continuously be a problem. I feel like at this point, Rude, it's like no matter who's playing the champion, it's going to be very, very strong in this early game and it'll take over from there.
Yeah, it's a problematic champion, and I do want to lend a little bit more information, perchance, as to why the Singed might have been picked. Specifically, we did get to see a little bit of interaction there. The Neferi dogs, the way they take damage is based on time in combat or instances of damage more so. With Singed poison ticking very quickly, the dogs do die quite fast if they are in the Singed poison, 1 to 2 seconds before they go down.
Yeah, you saw it right there. Another instance as Leave could be in trouble more. Assumed, not able to finish off that kill as now FPX collapsing here around the grubs. Shanji will go down. Public Execution goes on to Doinby as well. He pops the E, but Shadow's behind him, and he will pick up another kill. It's now 5-0 FPX.
Is Shadow playing the dog, or is he the one taking NIP on a walk right now? 5-0 to the good. 2k gold to the good as well. NIP are getting destroyed.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we were suspecting it was Leave, the one who was causing the pause, or somebody on NIP's side. I feel like FPX might have taken that a little personally right now, Rude. They want to get out of here.
They're ready. Their day needs to be done. Shadow, he's down bot side. 3-0-1 already.
And Leave doesn't have any flash. The ultimate comes out. It's just going to be such an easy kills. Picked up here for FPX. Doinby comes in with the Grand Starfall. He'll try to find one match onto Jwei, and he will, but he will likely go down in response again. Shadow is 5-0 on the Neferi.
This Neferi champion, man, every single time we see it get played just seems to do disgusting things. And Doinby is 1-4 on this Pantheon in the mid lane, having a real shocker in this final match of the day. I say that with a little bit more certainty after the way this early game has gone. The untargetable from Shadow, and a flash flip. That poor dog got sent absolutely flying, but Shanji flips nobody. Shadow just free to do all the damage that he needs to. Takes down Doinby afterwards. And Arky, who's sort of watching, goes, okay, I'm out. Goodbye. Thank you.
This is a Go Ascension angle for an IP right now. Doinby was popping off on this Pantheon earlier against top esports. He's now 1-4. Still up in gold over Carrick somehow, just because Spawn does have these 1 kills in the game so far too. So I mean,
the Doinby CS hack, right? He spawns it in.
Yeah.
That's the rule. He just spawns in the creeps and then kills them. It's nice and easy for him.
I mean, like, the way the NFP composition is set up as well, it's not like they scale okay, but they definitely are a team that wants to get ahead at least a decent amount here, for Doinby specifically. And Hockey in the mid-jungle 2v2. Leave also has gone the lethality build, so in terms of just the hyper-scaling nature of NIP's team composition, it's not really there.
No, it doesn't exist, yeah. Quite right, there is no hyper-scaling nature to this composition. NIP has a comp that should win early and is 3,000 gold down. Yes, they're getting this dragon, but it's coming at a bit of a cost, I will say. Top side, there's nothing really for Shanji to do, so she is getting free time alone with a turret. Has yet to find a play, instead has spent that time getting a lot of CS and then looking for what looks to be a pretty decent recall. On that bot side, despite the couple kills that have come through, only 300 gold lead as well, so not the best situation, don't get me wrong, for NIP. He got it, we're okay. Just plus 75 came up, so we're okay. And that's stolen Pantheon ulti there, just to get him back to the lane a little faster.
So right now, Doinby gonna get caught out once more. Quantum Duck connecting once again. Shadow is a level up onto Doinby right now. That's how far ahead the Neferi is in this game with that completed eclipse. However, Aki wants to go for the re-engage, lands the ultimate onto Care, and will be able to pick up another kill here for NIP. Leave, though, is targeted by Jwei, and Assume picks it up with his spear, and Doinby forced the flash for the wall, but it's going to be matched by the ultimate of Shadow, who has gone absolutely ballistic here in this game.
6-0-3. There are 10 kills in 10 minutes for FPX. Shadow has been a part of 9 of them. He's absolutely everywhere on the Neferi, getting kills left, right, and center. And once again, it's Doinby who pays the price for his team. Care starts it off. Long-range chain connects, and Doinby just dodging out on the chain, on the queue. Steps back to Shadow and then incentivizes the fight. One quick Kingslayer gives enough HP back to Kerkin to tank up that little bit longer. And it's another instance of Aki looking at a fight, assessing it, and going, lads, I'm out.
Can you imagine being OMG? You have to wait this whole time to like through the pause and everything. Like, okay, let's go. Come on, let's go in IP. Let's play this tiebreaker.
You're sat there as OMG. You're going, yeah, guys. All I need is for the split one MVP to play a champion and be chill about it. And ideally, if they don't pick Singed, that'd be even better. And then they watch the draft. Singed gets picked. Doinb is 1-5 at 11 minutes into the game, and OMG are just, I mean, I would be upset if I were them, but that's the nature of the group, right? If they wanted to not be in this position, they should have beat FPX the first time as well.
This is the duality of NIP, I feel like, this season, where they have looked really good at points and also have struggled.
They almost beat top earlier, right?
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, specifically in the playoffs as well last split after such a good start to the season. Sure, they were tough opponents that they ended up having to face off against, but that's just the nature of being in the LPL, right? And so if you are NIP, going into this Ascension group, where you're going to play against all the top teams, your BLGs, your ALs, your top esports. The questions here is now Lee going to be targeted here by Care. He's stolen away Chain of Corruption, goes right back onto the Varus. However, a lot of damage actually in response. Lee will get a kill through the bailout, although Shadow will get it right back.
Yeah, I like that from leaving ppgod there, recognizing that they're actually already dead. So ppgod just goes, yeah, you have fun with that, buddy. I'm going to give you a bailout, see what you can do. And in fairness to Lee, finds one kill in response. Now a TP back down to this bot side. Aki in trouble.
Actually buffer that crowd control nicely here. Win the decent assist, lands more crowd control straight in onto Jwei, but Assume pulls him right back here with the Fate's Call. Lands another knockabout to ppgod, and Assume's got so many spears into the Renata Glass. Doinb the next target here as Shadow continuing to dish out the DPS. Doinb will not be able to escape as the bleed comes through. Shadow picks up kill number 9.
I've seen Doinb try this at least twice already this game. That is too many times for my Pantheon to sit in the face of an Apheri, of a Callista, and try to get out to safety. Another time it doesn't quite work out. And it's again just FPX running away with this early game. Their composition scales better. NIP are already thoroughly in the dirt, and we're just watching fights for the fighting's sake now.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow to Assume played this one out pretty nicely. The Fate's Call at a beautiful time, and then let's see just how Doinb died.
So it's just an Apheri bleed, right? Like, he lands back down and the bleed has taken him out. I want to quickly again highlight that wasn't just Assume getting a really good timing on the ulti. He's also flashing over ulti from Renata to try and ensure that he's not spending as many similar spells, usually spends in the end anyway. But even still, gets in, gets out, keeps his AD, or his support rather, alive for long enough to find a knock for finding another kills. However, looking at that gold graph, it is, or gold graph, or that gold lead, excuse me, it does not make for good reading. Aki working on food stamps right now, trying to make sure that he's getting gold, whereas we're looking at Shadow sat in his mansion getting fed food several times over.
2 full items on the Neferi 14 minutes in. It's going to result in a Dragon being set for them. A 4,000 gold lead overall for FunPlus Phoenix. Reminder, if they win this game, they will be playing right once more tomorrow in that last chance qualifier. The 2 teams at the top of that bracket at the end of these next 2 days will find themselves in the Ascension bracket alongside NIP. So that is where FPX want to be, have the right to play against top teams.
1-7, baby.
And they're showing like they're doable here in this one. Is going to be not having a good one here on the Pantheon. That's his 7th death to 15 minutes, and the teleport coming in from Shanji as well. Care steals away the Singe ultimate, maybe for just some good measure, although his leave does do a decent amount of damage. Shanji will be able to survive with that block it being popped until Shadow dashes forward, but will he die for the bailout? No, the untargetable will allow him to live. Leave will go down as well, and ppgod next on the chopping block here for FPX. It's 18-4.
It's 4-0. It's a 3v4 down on the bot side. Assume and Jwei are just watching everybody else kill everything while they hit a mid-wave. Guys, I'm happy with this game, to be honest. FPX are probably going to win. Let's keep it a stack, right? They're in a very good position. I think 12-0 and 5 jungler, 15 minutes into the game, looks pretty good.
All right, we're going to go for a play here on to Mizuno Jwei. Aki with the cease and desist, but it's just way too much damage. And Kara comes to teleport as well. Doinby adding to his death count here in this game. He's going to pick up death number 8. And it just goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, so a reminder, NIP were playing for nothing. And I think that's a valid point to now bring this up, is that they had no stake in this game at all. They are in the Ascend group regardless of how this game goes. And it's a good thing as well.
I'm doing some stat calculations here. I'm surprised. The Fury has lost 3 times in the LPL. It's definitely pretty good the injury. I'm surprised that number is even as high as it is.
No, I know. It doesn't look good for the people that lost, because this champion looks like it's maybe a little bit good. As, you know, Shadow, just with his invulnerability on target ability, just working so much magic in this team fight. Just constantly dropping in and out of aggro. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
Let's go home. He doesn't want to play a tiebreaker. Shadow wants to be right back in that 3rd place spot here tomorrow. And by the way, he picked up another kill on ppgod off screen while that replay was going on. Seems like the broadcast didn't think it was important enough. 24,000 gold ahead of Aki in this game.
I mean, at this point, what's the 13th kill to show on broadcast of an Fury, right? Like, we're probably going to get a couple more before this game ends as well. So let's just savor it. We'll enjoy the moments and enjoy the players getting hyped up as well. You know, good little discrepancy. I'm seeing Shadow. No, okay, Aki somehow even in levels, by the way. Despite the fact that enemy jungler has 13 kills and I have 0. Anyway. We'll deal with that. That's our cross to bear, I guess, more than anything else. As now Care Fancy's a 2v1.
Okay, steals away that Vi ultimate, going straight in onto Aki and Doinby. And here comes Shadow as well. Doinby's going to be able to survive at least for a little bit, as Aki going to be the target now. Care picks up the kill. Bailout will just delay the inevitable here, as Shadow will go absolutely legendary. Bates call out on top of the Pop Blossom, combined with a public execution. That's the wombo combo that FPX were looking for, as they find themselves up 20 kills in this game.
I mean, you feel bad for Doinby, not for Doinby, for Lead there in that situation, because Assume is like, you do not feel bad for Doinby this game. Feel bad for leaving that situation, because the Callista is not even on his screen. The Nico was in Narnia, and the Nico still knocks him up and takes him down. But, I mean, that death doesn't change the way of this game. In fairness to Shanji here, has died the least in this game of his team, so...
He's just chilling.
He's having a good time. He's farming some creeps. This
is the PvE gameplay that I think he was hoping for by locking in Singed in the LPL.
Yeah, that's true. Just maybe we'll vibe. We'll give Singed a trial. And you know, it wasn't played since 2018. No, maybe we keep it in the locker for a little bit longer.
I think it got hotfixed as well, which I don't know if we're playing on the pre or post hotfix patch. After it was doing pretty good. I did look at the numbers while we were in break. 53% win rate against the Ambessa in solo queue, at least here in North America, where I was taking that. So we got something there in terms of that win rate, and it has been doing pretty well overall.
No, I'm gonna posit you something here, Grapes.
Yeah.
Could Shanji have played anything this game and the game looked different? Because I think the answer is yes.
No.
He could have played anything, and the game and the game wouldn't have looked different. No,
okay. I was gonna say like.
Yeah, he would have been. There's nothing really that he could have done this game that would have changed how this is done. He could have built AD. He could have used that attack speed. He could have used that attack speed.
I'm going through the champions list in my brain. Yeah, I don't think I'm coming.
Maybe Yumi, and just not on top. No.
Okay. I'm like you stun locked me there for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good. That'll happen when I suggest Yumi top lane to people.
Yeah.
Shanji did he just flash, or is that just a okay? He's just coming back up. All right, chill.
This game's over at this point.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We can talk about FPX
Folks,
overall.
I mean, if you're here for us to give you hard-hitting analysis on this game, okay, this game's over. Like, you're not gonna get that this time.
I don't normally advertise the other league.
No, but just enjoy FPX taking a comfortable win versus NIP. And hey, if NIP win this game, right? You want to know how that happened.
Yeah, I think you kind of get the gist after the first 5 minutes, but we're here. We gotta finish the job here. We gotta close the door.
We're gonna make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at this point, like, the book's written. We put the blurb in. The publisher's notes have gone in as well. I'm just sending it off to editing for final checks. I don't know how books get published.
That is something. The order
sounds
might
like
a little different. I have no idea as well. It is the Shadow Show in this game, which, by the way, picked up the Otacon that is giving them the revive despite them having 24 kills.
Yeah.
In the first 20 minutes. I feel like I don't understand
how they got
how
the
it works
rage.
anymore. Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna pretend I do either. Join B.
Okay.
Oh,
here
1 on 10.
Here it is. We got the power spike. This is the Yasuo power spike. We see the one Pantheon. 1 in 10 right now.
Normally it's 0 and 10 now. We got an early kill.
That's true. It's been unfortunate here. As they're just continuing to dive.
Yeah.
Taking down Leave, looking for ppgod as well. They get in the game before Baron is taken. Remember, they still have all the revives with the Otacon buff. Aki underneath his Nexus turret is still bleeding out as the tier 3s are now under fire here. FPX dominating this game from minute 1 seemingly, as they want to make sure that they end 3rd in Group C. This definitely has big impact for what their season could look like later on in this split number 2. Tier 3 tower taken down up top as they will try to go for a retreat.
Hail Mary!
Starfall could be a last-ditch effort. It will only be revives though.
Stolen
and might not even revive. Look at Assume popping off here in this team fight, and it will be 4 members down. Sorry, 3, soon to be 4, as ppgod is the next target. Leave.
Make it 5.
Followed up here by the ultimate of Shadow. The Nefiri popping off. Shadow and FPX will end 3rd in Group C and will have an opportunity to earn a spot into the Ascension bracket tomorrow.
31 kills in 23 minutes. That might be the bloodiest game of the LPL this year. That might have been the bloodiest game of the LPL for a good couple of years, to be honest. Yeah, FPX, they take the win, and congratulations, they get to play tomorrow and potentially on Monday as well for a chance to fight in the Ascend group. NIP are already there. You can see all smiles. NIP, that game was 4-0 for them, so I mean, it feels a little rough as OMG to sit and watch that happen, but nevertheless, that's where they're at.
It's like Shanji wanted. It's like a world where you want the skin. You have to
play
in the game. Like, it doesn't work like that here in the LPL. Shanji's thinking that way. He got an opportunity, and hey, NIP, they will be playing again in the Ascension group once we kick off play next week, and that will be an interesting test for them because they've had highs, they've had lows. They took care of business for the most part when they needed to against the bottom half teams in this group, but did lose 2 times in a row to top esports. One of them being a game that they were in large control of that happened earlier today. And so with some of the late season struggles that this Ninjas and Pyjamas roster had, it's going to be interesting to see what they look like once we get later into this game or later into this season as they play against more and more top teams. And for FPX, they get that win over NIP, which could be big one way or the other, depending on how you look at it. But now the real test comes, where they'll have to play against the other third-place teams across the groups.
Yes, and I think that for FPX as well, those will be challenges, right? Like Ultra Prime look like they could very easily take some very good games. LGD have been looking very strong as well, so there's a lot of actually quite stiff competition to be looking at, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next couple of days. I mean, regardless, whichever 2 teams make it into the Ascend group are going to have to battle their way through it, and they're probably going to struggle, right? They've came 3rd in their groups. Looking at how they perform in the Ascend group is going to be a big question mark, I guess, more than anything else. But even still, wherever they end up, whether it be Ascent, whether it be Nirvana, it's been a good little showing here for FPX. Yeah,
and the Fury pick, I think, is the big thing on everybody's minds after that one, as it jumps up to 8-3 overall in the LPL. I feel like it's still very overtuned, and also I don't know. I have a friend that plays a lot of Nefiri in our plat flex Q games sometimes, and he says he said he likes playing the champion before the rework, that because nobody knows what it does. It just you run at him, it does a lot of damage, right? is that happening at all? I feel like they all know,
yeah.
they all know what it is, I guess.
You'd like to think that there is now an element of familiarity with the champion. Grapes, who do you think's getting MVP this game? I couldn't wonder.
I think it's a champion with 18 kills and 25,000 damage dealt in 23 minutes.
Yeah, I might tend towards agreeing with you here. I mean, Leaf somehow out-damaged Asum here, so that's a small win for NIP, for Leaf in particular, if he wants to take it.
Yeah, sure.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Yeah, I'm coping heavily, but NIP, you know, they were playing that game for fun. Let's keep it a stack. And we get to see a little bit of the highlights of what happened. Shanji, highlight reel play worthy from him. Flash, flip, random dog, and then die.
That was the most notable thing we saw the Shinji do all game.
Yeah, he then never fought ever again. That was the funny thing. It's like that was his.
All right, back to farming. See you guys level 16.
I need to practice clicking on minions, and you know he smashed it for the most part.
He did that job for sure.
Clicking champions, it was a problem. Clicking minions, he was good. That's why he picks Singe. Just run around them.
It's so like. God, try to come up with like ways to reflect on how this game means anything for either of these games. It's hard. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
No, it is, and sometimes those games are going to happen, right? Like that's the beauty of like a group or like a league style format, which this group effectively was, right? Where you get to see the highs and lows and what like a table placing can do for you when you get to the final day, the final week. I remember like back in, again, we're going like 2014, 2015 times where LCS, EU and NA were both just like, we'll be in final week of regular season. You've got two teams that are like 4 and 12 that aren't getting relegated, but that also aren't playing in playoffs, and they would just play Heimerdinger and they'd run down mid lane and have like a random all-in. Like it's bringing back the time of old where you would just get random picks.
You remember the Team Liquid full glacial comp against TSM the last game of the regular season?
No.
Like 2018 or something. They literally, it was like the first year that TFT came out, and they were like, we're gonna play all glacial champions in TFT. So they went like Ashley, 20 Brav.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Like
yeah, but that's
and they beat TSM,
and then they won.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that we like, though, right? In a game like this, I mean, I think that for OMG, this is the one where it really stings. But for NIP, right, like having a little bit of fun on stage, FPX will be happy to cash in their win, but you know, NIP are going to be absolutely chilling after this. This will not be an issue for them.
No, definitely not. And I guess previewing what's to come as we start to close out the show here today. Tomorrow will be the beginning of that last chance promotion group bracket, whatever you call it. Some best of ones, some best of threes. That is going to face, have LGD, FPX, Ultra Prime, and WE all playing up against each other. Be a bit of a fascinating watch, as two of those teams are going to make their way into the Ascension bracket against, I guess, the other like favorites